Hello there. Today we're in the while loops chapter and we're doing the last activity in the while loops chapter in Learn to Code 1. This activity is called You're Always Right. You're always right. Okay, so this looks like a fairly complicated puzzle. So it says up here that this is a challenge and we're supposed to use any coding construct and pattern you like. It says for your final while loops challenge, toggle open all the closed switches and collect the gems. So let's run this program a couple times to see if the gems and switches move. Okay, they didn't that time. There's a gem up here near the end, looks like near the top of this platform. And there are a whole bunch of switches. They almost appear to be random. Well, they're certainly random whether they're on or off, but they are scattered around this puzzle. It doesn't look like there's any really major patterns here sticking out. So one more time, let's run this. Okay. There's one portal we have to deal with also here. So remember what we try to look for here. If we can decompose a problem, break it apart into small pieces, and we'll use patterns to, if we can find any patterns in here, we'll use patterns to guide where and how we break the puzzle down. So I notice here there are some long stretches where we're going to have to walk ahead, cleaning up closed switches. So there's a long stretch right in front of us, for example. And then after we turn right and take the portal, there's another long stretch at the top of the puzzle, and then we're going to turn right again, and then there's another long stretch of switches, and then we're going to turn right, and there's another long stretch. Then we're going to turn right and another long stretch. So I'm finding myself saying there's a long stretch of tiles with switches on them, and then we're going to turn to the right. And then there's another long stretch of tiles with switches on them. Then we're going to turn to the right. And then there's another long stretch of tiles with switches on them. And then we're going to turn to the right. So maybe one thing we can do just to get us started here is let's write a function that does just that. That does just the part of it that says clean up a long stretch of tiles and then turn to the right. Okay? When I say clean up, I mean toggle any tiles that are off or closed to be open. Okay? So let's say here, let's make this in a function. For right now, we might change that, but for right now, let's make it a function, and we'll say clean up long stretch. I'll call it a long road. Then turn right. Okay? Clean up a long road, then turn right. Now, how do we clean up a long road? Well, there's a bunch of tiles in front of us, and there could be, 2 or 3 tiles in front of us. There could be 5, there could be 7, there could be 9. Let's make this be some arbitrary length, some length we don't know how long it's going to be. But we do know that when we get to the end of it, we're going to be blocked. Okay, we're going to be blocked. And when we find we're blocked, we'll turn to the right. Okay, so as long as we're not blocked, we want to keep moving forward, straight ahead, cleaning up tiles. So I'm going to write these ideas down in some comments. As long as we are not blocked, keep moving forward, turning on switches. Okay? When we are blocked, when we are finally blocked, then we want to turn right. Okay? So this will handle things like this long stretch ahead of us. Okay? So now that's good. This is a great way to do things. We've got a little plan in place. And now let's just change our plan, our comments, into code. So as long as we are not blocked, well, that sounds like a while loop, right? And the condition that we're going to keep doing things is not blocked. So we'll say while we are not blocked, so not is blocked, we are going to, and here in this next sentence, we say keep moving forward, turning on switches when we need to. Okay, so as long as we're not blocked, we want to keep moving forward, turning on switches. So that's simply a move forward. Okay, and turning on switches. So after we move forward, we can say if is on a closed switch, we only want to turn on the ones that are closed, then toggle that switch. Okay. All right, so this while loop will keep walking forward, toggling closed switches to on, but then when we're finally blocked, turn to the right. Okay, so we'll know that after this while loop, because we keep doing this while loop as long as we're not blocked, so when we are blocked, we're going to come down here, and anything we do down here will be when we are blocked. Okay, so when we are blocked, we want to turn to the right, we said. Okay, so let's just try this and make sure it works. And if it works, I'm going to go ahead and remove my comments because I think the code reads just fine like it is. I don't need those comments in there. I can probably just read the code and figure out what it's doing. So let's just call our clean up long road, then turn to the right. Okay, let's try that. Clean up long road, then turn to the right. So he should head down this road as long as he's not blocked. He's going to keep moving forward, but if he's on a closed switch like now, he'll toggle it. Now he's blocked, and he turns to the right. Okay, that's good. That's good. Now, what do we want to do next? Well, we want to move forward to get onto that blue portal. Then when we come to the blue portal, we're going to come up here. And we want to keep moving forward down this long path, toggling on switches until we're blocked. And then we want to turn to the right to get ready for this next thing. Well, that sounds like we want to clean up a long road, then turn right again, right? So I'll just write this again. Clean up a long road, then turn right. Okay, now when we're on this path right here, we're going to want to keep walking down this long road, toggling switches that are closed to open until we get to here where we're blocked, and then we want to turn to the right. So that sounds like another clean up long road, then turn to the right. Okay, so let's try this. Let's try these three. We're just going to run 3 in a row, clean up long road, then turn to the right, because I'm starting to see a pattern here. I want to make sure this works out just fine. Okay, so let's call clean up long road, then turn to the right. We know this will work for this first long stretch. Okay, turn to the right. Now we called clean up long road, then turn to the right the second time. This one has a portal in it, but he's still going to keep moving forward until he's blocked, turning on closed switches. Now he's calling it again, clean up long road. Now when he comes up here and he's blocked, he'll turn to the right. Okay, looks like we could call it again and again and again. So something that we could just keep calling over and over and over again. Well, we don't want to keep typing that same code over again, right? What should we use here? We could use a for loop if we wanted to, but a for loop would work for this puzzle just fine. But if we had some kind of really long, nasty puzzle that worked a lot like this, where we just had to keep cleaning up roads and then turning to the right, then our for loop, we'd have to change it every time we run it. So a better idea might be to see if we can find another way to put a clean up long road, then turn right into its own while loop that will keep going until something happens at the end that tells it to stop. So, do you see anything that we could do at the end that would cause it to stop? Well, we could keep going until we're blocked, but let's go ahead and give this a try. Let's say while we're not is blocked, then let's just do a clean up long road, then turn to the right. Maybe it'll work. We'll try it out. But the other thing we wanted to do is let's get rid of these comments now and just simplify our code, and let's see if we can still read it even without these comments. Okay, so our function is clean up long road, then turn right, and this says while or as long as we're not blocked, we want to keep moving forward, checking if we're on a closed switch, toggling it. Now, when we are blocked, we want to turn to the right. Okay? So we don't even need those comments anymore. They were, however, very helpful when we were writing this function. We wrote down our main idea in a sequence of commands, just in our natural language, and then we changed our natural language into Swift code. Okay? So that's a great way to start a program, especially if you're not sure how you want to plan it out. Is just kind of write down in your own language how you want to write the program, and then after you've got a good idea, then change those comments into Swift code. All right, so for now, we are actually just going to keep calling our clean up long road, then turn to the right in a while loop, and as long as we're not blocked. And at the end, when we're blocked here, we'll see what happens. So let's see if this takes us all the way to the end of this puzzle or what happens. Okay. So this says, while we're not blocked, keep going, clean up long road, then turn to the right. Turn to the right. Okay, good. It's going to go on here. While we're not blocked, clean up long road, then turn to the right. Okay, again. This is looking good. Okay, clean up long road, turn to the right. As long as we're not blocked, we keep moving forward, checking if we're on a closed switch. We toggle it. Okay, we're blocked, so we turn to the right. So let's clean up the long road, turn to the right. Okay, good. And finally we're done. So this looks great. Here he's blocked, so he can't go any further, but he made it all the way through, toggled all the switches. So that's great. Now we just need to handle this gem here. Handle this gem. So one idea I was thinking as I saw that running, one idea we could do is we could just keep going, and while we're checking in here, if we're on a closed switch, toggle it. We could also put in here, if we're on a gem, then collect the gem. We could do that, and I'm pretty sure that would work, because here when we're on this tile with the gem on it, first it would check if there's a closed switch. There isn't. Then it would check if we're on a gem, and it would collect it. Okay? But one thing I don't really like about this, it's fine, it would get the job done. But one thing I don't like about this is that there's only one gem in this puzzle. And every time we run it, there's still only one gem. Now, we've gone through something like, I don't know what there are here, maybe 30 tiles or so, maybe 20, 30 tiles we've gone on. And I hate to keep asking and taking the time for the computer to say, are you on a gem? If you are, collect it. If there's only one of them and there's 20 tiles, that means we have to ask it 20 times or 30 times, and only once will we really be on the gem. So that seems a little bit wasteful. So can you think of a way we can actually fix this problem here so that we're not asking, are we on a gem every time, but instead, and then there's another problem too actually that I just noticed. Notice that Byte here went past the gem, and there's never any switches out here on this platform where he is now. That's always clean. So he really doesn't even have to visit those last two. He really only has to go up to the gem and then stop. So does that give you a hint on what we can do? Yeah, maybe instead of having him go all the time cleaning up long roads, then turning right until he's blocked, maybe he just wants to do that until he's on a gem. Keep going doing that until he's on a gem. So we could say while we're not is on a gem, then we want to keep cleaning up long road, then turning to the right. Okay? That makes sense? So that will mean we don't have to ask in here every time, every tile we visit, are we on a gem? So that's good. We're not wasting that time. But also it means we're not going to visit this part of the puzzle that never has any gems or never has any switches on it. Okay? Now, once we are on a gem, right, we come down here, we know we're going to be on a gem. So we can say here, we know we have to be on a gem here. And since there's only one, we can just say collect gem, and it will grab it. Okay? Let's try that here. So this is what we have now. We have a while loop, which just says as long as we're not on the gem, we want to do this. Clean up the long road and then turn to the right. And remember, clean up a long road and turn to the right means just keep walking forward until you're blocked. And each time you walk forward, check if you're on a closed switch and toggle it. Then when you are blocked, turn to the right. Okay? Let's try this. And I'll go ahead and step through the code so you can see our function, clean up long road, then turn to the right, get called every time the while loop is executed. It's going back to the beginning. We've got a different configuration of the switches. He called while he's not on a gem, it's true, so we called clean up the long road, then turn right, which is just a bunch of move forwards inside a while loop as long as he's not blocked. He keeps checking if he moves forward and checks if he's on a closed switch. Now, finally he is blocked, so he turns to the right. We come back to the while loop and we call clean up long road, then turn to the right, which is going to have him keep moving forward, checking if he's on a switch, closed switch. If he is, then he toggles it. And he keeps asking, am I blocked? No, I keep moving forward, checking if I'm on a switch. Here I am going to be blocked, so I leave the while loop and I turn right, and that's the end of clean up long road, then turn right. However, we just go back and call it again because we're not on the gem. Here's a nice long road. Just traveling down the long road, checking for closed switches and toggling them. Each time he says, am I blocked? No, then I move forward, check the switch. No, I'm not blocked, move forward. Check if I'm on a closed switch. No, I am blocked this time, so I turn right. Come back down to this while loop and we call, am I on a gem? No, so I call clean up long road, then turn right again. Okay, so he keeps moving forward, checking if he's on a closed switch. If he's not, he goes back and moves forward, check if he's on a closed switch. This time he's blocked, so he turns right. Calling clean up long road, then turn right one more time. Move forward. Am I on a closed switch? No. Move forward. Am I on a closed switch? Yes. So toggle it. Move forward. Am I on a closed switch? No. Move forward. Am I on a closed switch? No. Move forward. Am I blocked? I am blocked. So I move down here. So I go ahead and collect the gem. And notice he did not go onto this rest of this platform here, which is what we wanted, because there's never any gems or never any switches there. All right, so nice solution here. This has a really nice function, clean up long road and then turn to the right. And our main program is really only a while loop and a single collect gem down there. Isn't that amazing how powerful this is? A single while loop and a collect gem can clean up a big complicated puzzle like this. Okay, that's because we identified the patterns, and remember, the patterns aren't necessarily some number of switches that are the same, or some number of gems that are the same, or they don't have to look like a pattern when you look at them, in space. They can often be just sort of a a sequence of commands that's a pattern, or a procedure that's a pattern. In this case, the pattern we found was keep walking forward until we're blocked and then turn right. Keep walking forward until we're blocked and then turn right. Keep walking forward until we're blocked and then turn right. Okay, then we said that's a great pattern. Let's put that into a function, and then we don't have to worry about it anymore. We can just call clean up the long road and then turn right. Okay, that's what we mean by abstraction. Abstraction says we think of this big idea like clean up a long road, then turn right, and once we write that in our code, we don't ever have to think about those details anymore. We can think about the big idea instead, which is as long as we're not on a gem, we just want to keep cleaning up the roads and then turning right. Okay? Now, before we go here, I just want to show you that we could have, of course, written this slightly different. Since all we're doing in here is calling a function, if we didn't write this with a function, well, we could really instead get rid of this, and in our while loop, we could just put the contents of our function, which is this set of commands right here, from here to here. The procedure that happens in our function, if we cut this out of here and put it in here, that would do exactly the same thing, right? Because instead of calling the function, we're doing this set of commands, which is essentially what the function was doing before. All right? So here we wouldn't need the function in that case. Okay? But what this code looks like now is, remember what this is called when we have a while loop inside of another while loop? It's nested while loops, nested loops. Okay? This loop is nested inside an outer loop. It's exactly the same thing as before, though. We can think of everything inside the outer while loop as saying, well, this is just cleaning up a long row and then turning to the right. And we just want to keep doing that as long as we're not on a gem. When we are on a gem, we want to collect the gem. Okay? All right, that's good work. We are finished with the while loops chapter. If when you wrote this code, you wrote it a little bit differently, and you say, "Wow, I think what Bill did is just kind of really cool, and I want to try to write it that way," that's great. After you watch this video, take a day or two off, go back, and then try this again. Just delete your code and say, now I want to try to remember how we did it with thinking about abstract ideas like cleaning up a long road and turning to the right, and write that yourself. And if you don't get it, that's totally fine. Totally fine. It took me lots and lots of times to figure this stuff out. So you'll get it. Just go back, watch the video, remind yourself of how it looks, and then say, take another day off and try it again. Okay? All right. But just, keep in mind, every time you do it, every time you fail and try again, that's your brain getting better. That's your brain getting better at what you're doing here, thinking of abstractions, of putting that into your memory and making it part of you. Okay? And that's what we're after here. All right, so good work here. After you're happy with how you got these while loops down, then we're moving on to the algorithms chapter, the last chapter in the Learn to Code curriculum. Okay, we'll see you next time.